Internet, what's good? Justin here, bringing you another games you might have missed. Now, I'm doing this game for a few reasons. For one of the reasons is that I finally got a PS3. I hope I am not too late. And I just wanted to show off that I got past HDCP like a cool guy. And I guess for the main reason as well, for the fact that this is a game you might have missed, and this is a very underappreciated game in Valkyria Chronicles. If you ever look up underrated or underappreciated games on the internet, I can guarantee you more often than not that Valkyria Chronicles is on many lists. So, where to begin? Story takes place in the alternate history of Europa, where tensions are high and war ravages through the land, and you control a newly formed squad in the army, Squad 7. Now, I don't want to get too deep into the story because, well, that's half the fun in playing this game. In what is considered as a strategy JRPG, instead of free roaming, you are presented with a storybook presentation with well written dialogue and beautifully done anime styled look. Notice how I didn't really say anything about the story itself being good, because that's pretty much really up to you. It's your typical JRPG roller coaster ride of emotions. As a person who has had a hard time getting into anime and is still mildly interested, I found the voice acting to be very well done, that actually managed to switch to English voices without getting really too annoyed. Although it does have a few cringeworthy moments, I don't feel like that's the voice actor's fault really, as soldiers vary in age and personality and each voice matches it quite well. The writers even went as far as going to giving everything and everyone a biography. Even the pig that becomes the squad's pet or mascot at some point got one.
I'm Frisia York Handsome. I know you'll take real good care of me.
I'm Cherry Steinen, like with a J. It's silent, but I'm not.
You're going to find yourself going back to the headquarters quite often. You're able to level up your units, reorganize them, buy armor, buy weapons, all that stuff, visit the memorial for your dead soldiers if that happens, and able to read the history of what has happened in the game so far. Once in HQ, you are able to reorganize Squad 7 any way you'd like and have as many of a specific unit as you'd like, as long as they still have that unit available. Like I also said, you can level up your units per class and each character will scale with their respective unit, so there's no worry about a character falling behind. You can earn XP by completing story mode missions or skirmishes. You can also spend the money you've earned from skirmishes and battles to upgrade your unit's weapons and armors, your tank's weapons and armor as well. Like I said, you are presented with a storybook. You're able to choose chapters and different tabs. There are also side quests and side stories, obviously optional, but because they're right in front of you, there's really no point in skipping them. Now, I did mention this is a strategy RPG, but instead of a grid-like system we may have seen in Breath of Fire, Final Fantasy Tactics, or even XCOM, we swapped that out with real-time movement and actually being able to control specific units for a limited amount that varies with each class. Now, I don't know if there are other games similar to this one in terms of style. If there was, I would feel like I would probably have heard of it. So in this case, this game in particular is unique on its own. As far as the battles go, unfortunately, you are not allowed to repeat story mode missions once they have been completed. So if you want to get more XP or more money, luckily they have included skirmish mode, which is very similar to some story mode missions, but there's some specific objectives won't be there, and story mode events that happen during those battles won't occur either. So there's a lot of trial and error, which I found out the hard way as far as arranging your units and seeing how the battlefield plays out. But luckily you can simply restart the mission from the menu or even save during the middle of the battle, so if you want to try a certain strategy out and it doesn't work, you can simply load from where you saved previously.
Entering combat.
Once you are on the actual battle, you are given a set amount of CP points per turn. Every action uses up anywhere between 1 to 2 points, and you may actually reselect a unit you may have already moved, but with each selection their movement amount is greatly reduced, even if you haven't moved them before. On some maps you are actually able to capture small enemy camps, and if you still have CP and don't have the maximum amount of units on the field, you may actually call in a unit and they will spawn at that camp the next turn. And another thing as far as strategy goes and what unit you want for what mission, I did mention before that each character has a unique personality and that translates to them on the battlefield as well. Each character has what they call potentials, which pretty much translate to likes and dislikes and can either buff them or debuff them. For example, you can still take these units out on the mission, but just for examples, some units or some soldiers do not like the desert. They have a desert allergy, meaning depending on what part of the map they're on, they may be debuffed, causing a decrease in accuracy or defense. And then on the other end of that, some units love nature, meaning they'll get a buff. Each character also has a likes list pertaining to characters liking other characters or disliking them, which will have the same buffing and debuffing effect. Shooting can simply be done by getting into range and view and pressing a button. Since you are allowed to aim, it's up to you to go for a headshot, which can be ducked, or by playing it safe and sitting back and getting a shot from far away. Because if you don't kill the enemy, they will retaliate and shoot back, but that works with your units as well. So it has a little bit of the XCOM look to it. So if you play that game, you know what I'm talking about. Because even though your crosshairs are on the head or on the weak point of a tank, your shots can go way off. But if you do have more units around you, as far as friendly units, up to 3, they can actually shoot with you and having a larger chance of killing the enemy. What I've been noticing lately, because I haven't finished the game quite yet, but I'm getting there, the difficulty spikes up with later missions. It can be frustrating at times, but it becomes a fun challenge of trying to do different strategies during different missions. So even though this game has received a lot of positive reviews and awards, it still has been getting overlooked in a genre that needs a huge spark. It sucks that the sequels, for whatever reason, are handheld exclusives, and I think the third one isn't even out in North America, but it shouldn't discourage you to at least check out the first one. And if you ever needed a reason to go back to your PS3, Valkyria Chronicles is a good one. So that's pretty much it. This has been Justin with another Games You Might Have Missed. Thanks for watching. I hope you're following and supporting as well. Go buy Valkyria Chronicles and let's get 2 and 3 on consoles and localized. Thanks again. See you guys soon.
Moving out.
Operation complete. We took their base.